compact and affordable EVs. It's something which we've been crying out for in the UK. And here at John Banks, we're lucky that we've been indulged in the world of electric vehicles for the best part of a couple of years. We have some of the best in the range, including the Hyundai Ioniq 5. And we love EVs, but we understand that for many people, the main roadblock to going electric, even if they want to, is price. They can get rather expensive. So luckily, the time has finally come for the small, affordable electric vehicle. And we have some of the best out there. The Dacia Spring, the Renault 5, and now the Hyundai Inster, a compact and fun electric vehicle which doesn't compromise when it comes to all the electric capabilities. Hi guys, my name's Tish and welcome back to the John Banks Review YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about the Hyundai Inster, and I'm also going to be putting it through a range test, testing out how efficient this car can be. And a little bit of a spoiler, it's very efficient. So if that sounds good, then please keep watching. If you like new car reviews and car content, you're in the right place. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you wanted any more information on the Hyundai Inster, including a current 0% finance offer, then click the link down below and chat to one of our sales team at Hyundai Cambridge. But first of all, why don't I tell you all the key details that you need to know about the Hyundai Inster? There's two different battery options that you can pick from. There's a standard range and then the one that I'm driving, which is called the long range. And these cater for slightly different driving needs, but not a huge amount of difference between the two. The standard range has a 39 kilowatt hour battery and that gives you 203 miles. So this is well suited for urban driving. Now in the long range variant, you get a larger 46 kilowatt hour battery and that just tops it up slightly to 229 miles. So this may appeal for those people that need to go a little bit further on their trips. In terms of performance, this is very much a city car, so neither version is particularly fast. But this long range variant delivers 113 brake horsepower, which definitely enhances its responsiveness in city traffic. And this added power allows for confident navigation through busy streets. While the long range may be more comfortable at motorway speeds, it may still feel a little bit less agile at 60 miles per hour, as you can expect. The standard range's 0 to 62 time of 11.7 seconds suggests that it's definitely tailored for city commutes, where rapid acceleration isn't always necessary. But the difference between the two cars is minimal.
Whilst there isn't much difference between the two batteries, the main difference comes with the three levels of specification. Kicking off the lineup is the 01, priced at £23,505, which has the choice of either battery. It gets plenty of specification, including rear parking sensors, rain sensing wipers, smart cruise control, keyless entry and start, and an impressive touchscreen with nav and CarPlay, but it misses out on some configurable elements that I'll highlight throughout the video. The 02 is the model that I'm driving today. It's just over £3,000 more and is only fitted with the larger battery and packed with lots of luxuries, including a heated steering wheel and ambient lighting, to name a few. Sitting atop the lineup is the Cross model. It costs £28,755 and is a more rugged off-road focused design. It adds electric opening glass sunroof along with unique grey and lime interior finish and the option of the exclusive Amazon's green matte paint colour.
I don't know about anyone else, but I'm always insanely jealous of all the fun and creative cars that they get overseas. When they reach us in Europe, they're often simplified to make them more palatable. But that isn't the case with the Inster. It's kept all of its personality. This car actually exists in Korea as the Casper, although our version is slightly extended to give you a bit more space. And I can't wait to tell you all about space. This thing is like a TARDIS. But back to design. All of the design from the Casper has been brought across, and that means it almost has a touch of Suzuki Ignis about it. And that's not a bad thing in my eyes. It has a load of personality. You get these round headlamps which are super bright at night. It gives it that friendly, wide-eyed look. But you also have design brought across from the rest of the range, like the Ioniq 5 and 6. You have the pixel indicators at the top here, and then also further down you'll just find those pixel elements on the plastic part of the bumper. bumper. You also get extended plastic wheel arches, which definitely hint at its adventure-ready style. That's something which Hyundai are really pushing for the Inster. It may be small, but it's definitely ready for big adventures. And that's why if you go for the O2, slightly higher version like I've got here, you get roof rails as standard. So you can mount a storage box or even a tent box on top of the car. It really is ready for all of your adventures. You can also tell that this is the slightly higher model because it sits on 17-inch alloy wheels. You get 15s if you go for the entry-level car, and if you're looking for the softest ride with the most amount of range, that's possibly the one that you want to opt for. But if you want something a bit more stylish, then these 17s definitely do the job with the silver cross in the centre. So this car is compact. As you can see, it sits quite high up, so that's excellent for headroom, which I'm going to show you in a moment. But in terms of size, it is still very small. So what is space like inside of the Inster? Well, why don't we check it out? I'm going to jump in the back. Now, just like the Dacia Spring, the Hyundai Inster is a strict four-seater. The car's quite narrow, so you wouldn't want to squeeze 3 people in the back here, but it does have positives. You've got ISOFIX fitments on both of the outer seats, and these doors open at a 90-degree angle, so getting child seats or other items inside is really easy. Once you are inside, how much legroom you get does depend on which version you go for. I'm currently in the O2 version, and as you can see, I've got a good amount of headroom and an okay amount of legroom. I've moved this seat into my driving position to give you an idea of how much space there is. But the O2 does have a secret, and that is the sliding rear bench. So, in a 50-50 split, you can slide the bench backwards, and that means you lose some boot space, but you get a ton of legroom. Look how much room I've got in the back here. I have got legroom for miles, and already this was a very tall car, so headroom was never an issue. But then instantly, this makes this car a lot bigger than the Dacia Spring. It feels much more comfortable in the back. There are some cool features in this car as well. For instance, you've got these panels in the door. Now these can actually be removed and changed for different colours, which is quite nice. And you've also got these little clips on the back here where you can put in things like a tray table or a phone holder, which is good because there's not too much in the way of amenities. I haven't got any pockets on the backs of the seats, which is a shame, and I haven't got any cup holders. But what I do have access to is a USB-C charger, which is just tucked behind the back of the armrest between the driver and the passenger. The door cards are also very small in the back here, but that's pretty much standard across this class of car. But overall, when it comes to space, it feels far better than the Dacia Spring. But what about the boot space? Well, boot space is very much dependent on which specification you go for, and there's a few numbers to talk about. So first of all, if we talk about the 01 trim, then you get 280 litres of space, and that's pretty competitive to cars like the Mini Electric, which gets a similar amount. But if you go for this model, the 02, means you either get best in class boot space or worst in class boot space. It all depends on that sliding rear bench. Let me explain. So at the moment, we've got the bench slid all the way backwards, and that's to give the most amount of room to the rear seat passengers. But what that does mean is it reduces the amount of boot space that you get in the Inster to just 238 litres. That is tiny and one of the smallest in its class. But this car is all about being able to be customised. So if we slide that bench forward, let me then show you how much boot space you get. Now, with that bench slid all the way forwards, you now get 350 or just above 350 litres, making it one of the best in class and bigger than the much larger Citroën EC3. So as you can see, there's a lot of potential. But whatever version you go for in the Inster, you do get a load of handy features inside of the boot. For instance, you have this little parcel shelf at the front, and then you have these 2 strips of fabric which attach to the rear seats, and that acts as your parcel shelf. But if you wanted more loading area, then you could completely remove this, Pop that to the side or leave it in your garage, and then as you can see, you have a much easier loading space for getting suitcases or larger items in. You also have storage underneath the boot floor to be able to pop away your charging cables. And if you wanted to completely remove this boot floor, then you see that you have that cavernous 350 litres, but you also get these little bits of plastic that attach to the rear seats, and these mean that you don't lose items down the back of the seats when you've got your parcel shelf in the upper position. But that isn't the only trick that the little Inster has up its sleeves. Let me show you what you can do with all of the seats. How cool is that? You can literally drop down all 4 of the Inster's seats, making it into a completely flat load area, which is perfect for camping. The ride quality of the Inster is commendable, with its soft suspension effectively absorbing road imperfections and providing a comfortable experience. It handles bumps well and it maintains composure on uneven roads, making it enjoyable for various driving conditions. This isn't just a car which is happy in the city, it can do it all. While it may not match the plushness of some of its rivals, it offers a balanced and pleasant driving experience. Visibility is a notable strength on the Inster, thanks to its large windscreen and low dashboard design, which really aids with manoeuvrability in urban areas. It also has a pretty small turning circle as well. The vehicle features a one-pedal driving system that allows for smooth deceleration, and while the brakes can feel a little bit sensitive at times, this is offset by a confidence of the auto regen mode that helps you to adapt in traffic conditions. I cannot believe that we've talked about so much with this car and we've not even touched on the interior, and there's still so much to love inside of this cabin. Now, it does have to be noted that this is a more affordable product, so you will find cheaper, harder plastics across the dashboard, lower down on the doors, and also the seats. Even though this is the 02 model, they're still cloth, so there isn't any leather inside of the Inster. I don't think that's an issue at all, and there is some real highlights. The first being this steering wheel. This steering wheel has been lifted straight out of its bigger brothers, and that means you get a leather wrapped wheel, you get loads of buttons on the steering wheel, the lovely scrollers for your volume and also controlling some of your dash and your infotainment system, and you also get this wonderful drive mode button as well, which is really easy to press when driving. You even get the light up Morse code H pixels across this steering wheel, which actually change colour when you press things like your drive mode, and even will depict your state of charge when you're charging the car, which is so cool. You also get a two 10.25-inch screen setup, digital driver's display and a separate infotainment screen, which is again straight out of its bigger, more expensive brothers, which is fantastic. And there is so many functions on this touchscreen, it's really simple to use. And although there is a touchscreen, there's also tons of buttons. I'm so pleased to see this. So you have your central touchscreen controls. You've got some shortcuts down here for your nav, your map, your radio, your media, and they make finding things very simple. You also have a physical volume control dial and even controls for your radio station. On this touchscreen, there is loads to discover. You can find out information around how efficient this car is running, as I've mentioned. You can use Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is wireless, satellite navigation, which is built in, as well as many other functions. This is a very crisp and clear and easy to use system. You actually get a completely different section for your climate control, which is really good to see. You have physical buttons for turning up and down your temperature, as well as your fan speed. You also find shortcut buttons to things like your heated seats. You also get heated steering wheel in this 02 model, and that button is just to the right of your steering wheel. It's really easy to find everything inside of this cabin. There's no gear selector in the centre, and that's because it's behind the steering wheel instead, just like the rest of the Ioniq range, and that means it allows a load of space up front. You have got a armrest which can be slid backwards, and then you have two cup holders. It's almost built in like a bench. It reminds me a little bit of a van, and that's not a bad thing at all. There is a ton of storage and you'll find it all around the cabin. So you have got some wireless charging on this higher spec model, which you can pop your phone in there, and you also have a little bit of storage just down here. But you also have this complete area to be able to pop items. You've also got a little bit of storage on top of this glove box, and underneath you have a full-size glove box, which is great. You have a USB and USB-C charger, as well as a 12-volt charger too. You'll also find a little bit more storage just tucked here behind this climate control section, which is also perfect for popping your mobile phone. You also get very small door cards. They're nothing to write home about, but things that I do really love are these sun visors. They are massive, so they're going to block out a lot of that sun if you're finding it to be an issue. But also you've got really large mirrors on those, and you have a light up here as well. So that feels really, really functional. And you also get a really wide rear view mirror, which is going to make it so easy to manoeuvre.
As promised, here is that efficiency test. So far, looking at the efficiency history of the car, the journeys have been running between 4 and almost 7 miles per kilowatt hour, but some of those journeys are very short. Time to give it a proper test. From my current location to John Banks Hyundai Cambridge, it's 44 miles. The current mileage on the car is 94 miles of range, so effectively, if the range prediction is correct, we should arrive with 50 miles left. Time to reset the trip computer. The majority of my journey consisted of national speed limit rural roads, although I was doing 30 for a majority of the journey. I also chose to sit in eco mode as I found it made no noticeable difference to the performance that I needed and I wasn't in a hurry. We've arrived, so what's the verdict? Across those 44.5 miles I was running at an efficiency of 5.8 miles per kilowatt hour, and we arrived with 66 miles, 16 more than predicted. Therefore, if the long range model fitted with the 46 kilowatt hour battery was to consistently get 5.8 miles per kilowatt hour, this actually makes the range 266.8 miles. Of course, it does have to be noted that it's currently glorious EV weather, but that's still impressive.
Hyundai prove time and time again that they know how to build electric vehicles. The Ioniq 5 is one of my favourite electric SUVs. The Ioniq 6, one of the best executive electric saloons, and the Ioniq 5, definitely the best hot hatch that you can buy. And now the Hyundai Inster, I can confidently say, is the best small affordable compact electric vehicle that money can buy on the market. But let me know, what do you think of the Hyundai Inster? Let me know all of your thoughts and feelings down below. Don't forget, if you wanted to test drive one for yourselves, then you can do that at Hyundai Cambridge. I'll pop all the details in the description box and you can book in with one of the sales team. I really hope you have enjoyed this video today, guys. If you have, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, then you're in the right place. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Until next time, see you later.